And we welcome number 7 overall pick, Dylan Cozens, to the show. Good morning.
Thank you.
Good echoes here.
Now, let me just tell everybody, let me paint the picture. Dylan comes over, Chris Bandura brings Dylan over, introduces us, and, we try to let him know that we're, just normal. We're not like the CNN type reporters and all serious and everything. And Riv turns to him with just a dead straight face, and he says, "You spend your summers in Alaska?"
He aced his geography exams last week. That's just
Alaska, not a state in the country of Canada.
Not a
or a
territory.
province or a territory, for that matter. Hovers around over there somewhere. But anyway, Dylan Cozens from Whitehorse, the Yukon. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Let's move that mic. Marty, you want to move that mic just a little bit closer for him? How's it been since the draft? You get drafted Friday night, and here you are.
Yeah, it's been a crazy few days, just straight from Vancouver to here, and then relaxed for a bit, enjoyed the nice weather.
Have you, now, when you go to the draft, does your agent tell you, and I think we've already asked this question before to other players that have been in the first round and done what you're doing, do they tell you before, pack for a week, you might have to bring your equipment, or how does that all work? Because if that's the case, you're taking a ton of gear to the draft.
Yeah, well, my agent just told me, just bring it if I want to, because I was still planning on going home even after I got drafted, but then we just decided that it wasn't worth it, so I just brought all my stuff with me and just came straight here.
Yeah, it's not worth going to Alaska first and coming back.
No, especially if you're going to detour through Alaska and Yukon and
give it a
Nunavut and come back to Kuujjuaq and go back and then come back to Buffalo. It's not going to work. Yeah. Now, did you... So were you skating back home yet, or did you take a few weeks, months off before getting back on the ice?
Yeah, we actually don't have ice there right now, so I wasn't really skating before. So this is
it'll be an interesting first few days at development camp,
might
right?
be a little rusty, but we'll see.
Now, do you spend your summers in...
Where is it, Riv?
Alaska.
Where could he potentially be spending his summers, Craig? Yukon.
Yeah, I spend my summers in the Yukon. Yeah.
Awesome. I just looked up the Yukon, and I mean, we learned about it in school. I don't know if they learned about the Yukon in North Bay or not, but we learned about the Yukon. Never been there, but it does just, Wikipedia, things to do in Yukon says not much, actually.
Yeah, there isn't too much to do, just lots of outdoor stuff, hiking, fishing, hunting, camping.
Well, we saw there was a picture of you and your dad, right?
Yeah.
Was that a few weeks before the draft?
That was 3 days before I left.
3 days before you left for the draft. So you guys are out fishing, and you caught like a 30-pound lake trout up there. So other than fishing, what else
They call that grocery shopping way up there.
Exactly. That's like, that's dinner right there. But other than fishing, what else did you like doing when you grew up in the outdoors?
Just like dirt biking up through the mountains, lots of hiking, camping, just everything involved in the outdoors with my buddies.
Okay. Are you a big hunter?
I'm actually not.
No,
a big hunter.
I was going to say Rob Ray, and which you'll probably get to know at some point. Rob likes to hunt. He probably likes to fish as well, but he would be the guy to talk to. But then stay clear of Razor.
Don't hunt down here. Just focus on hockey. Yeah. Right? Let me ask you this: first round pick ever taken from the Yukon. That's some big pressure.
Yeah, there definitely is some pressure there. I kind of felt that pressure throughout my whole draft year this year, just knowing all the people up there watching it and keeping track of me, and I want to make them proud. But yeah, they've supported me a lot, and I know that they're going to be really happy with whatever I do.
Who are some other players to come from the Yukon?
Two guys.
Peter Sturgeon's one of them.
Baltimore?
Yeah, and Peter Sturgeon.
Peter Sturgeon in Baltimore? Is that
not a city.
His last name was Baltimore.
Yeah. Last name Maryland. Talk about the pressure. First round draft. We've heard your name from the start of the year to now. I mean, the top 10 pick. I mean, you started. You move around. There's always guys.
I'll stop you there. It wasn't top 10. It was top 5. I mean, you were in the top 5 rankings for so many throughout the year that a lot of people thought that you were going to be in the top 5. And obviously when you move down and you have Detroit that make their special German defenseman pick, that puts you right in our lap. But go ahead.
Did you know? No. Did you know? Did you know when Buffalo came? That if you were there, they were taking you?
I did not know. No, there's so many different teams and so many different players that it could have been, and I think a lot of us were in the same situation. We had no idea where we could end up.
What was the feeling sitting in the stands at the draft? And I can remember when I was drafted, when it got to about 12, 13, and then J.S. Giguère, another goalie, was picked. And now every pick, I'm thinking, oh, it could be me, it could be me. When did the butterfly start going for you, and what was it like when you finally heard your name? Like, at what pick did you say, there's a real chance I could be picked here, and then moving on to the Sabres?
You better say first.
Well, the first 2 picks, like, they were pretty set in stone.
Yeah.
I think most people would agree with that. But when that 3rd pick came around, that's when my heart started bumping a little bit faster, and I started getting a little more nervous. And those are all my buddies that are getting drafted too. So when it's not me, I'm happy for them. I'm happy seeing them fulfill their dreams too.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Now, you left Whitehorse pretty early. A lot of kids, if you're in the Boston area, Michigan area, anywhere in Canada, usually they get to play Bantam and midget in their hometown or close to home. You had to leave early. How was that like for you to be
At age 14,
At age
right?
14,
Yeah.
having to leave home to move and to play hockey somewhere else?
Yeah, that was definitely very tough on me and my family, just being so young and having to leave them behind. Like, my parents letting me go at 14, it was tough on them too, but I had really good billets over there, and we knew that's what I needed to do if I wanted to, chase my dreams. It was my Bantam draft year, so I wanted to get my name out there.
So where did you go? So from your Bantam draft year, you went where, to British
Left.
Columbia, or you went?
To lower mainland of BC.
Okay, or BC, and then so you played your Bantam year there. You get drafted. You stick around to play midget in the same area, and
Yeah.
then move it on to juniors.
Yeah.
Okay, so because a lot of people here in Buffalo, I mean, the hockey works different in the States. So we have some kids that are moving from Syracuse and different
I
areas
feel
to
like
come
all
in
the
and play.
Western boys are like that. I feel like a lot of kids have to move. I mean, we talked about it yesterday, right? Like the bus travel alone, just to find hockey towns out there. It's not like Ontario or Quebec, as you mentioned. I feel like kids are moving so much further from home because of where they're coming from up there. Where do you expect to be next year? Where are your expectations for yourself next year?
Well, obviously I want to make the jump right away to the NHL, and if I'm lucky enough to, I think I'll be ready for it. But if not, I'll go back to Lethbridge there and lead my team.
Yesterday, you guys had Craig Button on the show, and I don't know if you've got to meet Craig Button at all. He's, former general manager. He's the scouting guru with TSN, but he talked about your skating and your motor, how you play the game fast. And, in the middle of the ice, sometimes as a centerman, you have to slow things down. You have to know when you can speed up and when you can push the pace. What advantage, maybe for you, will it be to make the jump to the National Hockey League with the speed and being able to play all forward position?
Yeah, I think that just skating is such a big part of the game now, and speed. So I think that's kind of where I'm ahead of some guys in my draft class, and I think that's going to help me and allow me to make the jump quicker, and just being able to play center and wing as well.
What do you like better, center or wing?
Center.
You like center better?
Yeah.
So if they came in and they said, okay, you can play in the National Hockey League right away as a winger, or you can come to play in the National Hockey League in 2 or 3 years from now as a centerman, what do you take?
I'll take the winger.
You want to make the jump right away?
Whatever. I'm happy playing either. Whatever they want me to play is what I'll play, and I'll do it happily.
Okay.
I'm going to piggyback off that because, listening to Craig Button yesterday when we had him on, he kind of discussed and went through all your assets of what makes you a player. And every time I read up on you and there's all these sites, there's multiple sites that talk about how great of a skater you are. And, you're a big kid, like 6'3", 185 pounds. Your skating is exceptional. But what was interesting to me is a lot of players are really fast in a straight line. They started to talk about your edge work and how well you transition from forward to backwards, and your edging is exceptionally, or they said outstanding. They say you're a pure goal scorer. I mean, everything that I read, it was like I'm trying to figure out, okay, what's going on here, because they don't say a lot about things that you need to work on. I read exceptional skater. You're a pure goal scorer. You play a 200-foot game. I mean, you don't hear that a lot when you're talking about younger players with elite talent like yourself. Give me something that you feel is that you need to work on to be able to kind of make that next jump to the next level?
Yeah, I just think focusing on always being as hard as I can on my stick and hard in puck battles in the corners. You know, at the next level, guys are obviously really strong, and I know it's going to be a big jump, so I just know I need to get stronger and always focus on being as hard on my stick as I can.
Yep.
You had, what, 80-some points last year in the WHL?
84.
84. Where do you think next year, if you had to go back to juniors, where do you set your sight at to say, okay, now I'm
I'll
developing?
answer that question. He said 105.
Okay.
I'm going 110.
You guys know what you said yesterday. You said
Well-
you said more than that. You know what? You don't want to put pressure on the kid.
You
He's
said
seventh
100
overall pick. He
You said
deserves the pressure.
105. You said 105. I think he's going to be 110 plus.
Well, he's going to miss time for World Juniors. probably.
That's what the answer I wanted to be. Well, you know, I'm really that's. You're leading the witness.
I took that
Petey.
into
I'm not
account,
leading the
Marty.
witness. I'm trying to figure out how many points we're going to get this kid this year, if he goes back to junior.
Yeah.
Right?
I'll tell you this. My second training camp, I got sent back down to juniors. And I'm sitting in the room with the coaches and the general manager, and they say, Marty, what's one of your goals this year? And I blanked. I had no idea what they wanted me to answer. And they said, we want you to dominate in the first half so you can be on Team Canada, the World Juniors. Luckily, I made it on there. We won a gold medal in '97. It was excellent. But is that, I know the NHL is your goal and you want to get there right away, but what about Team Canada World Juniors? What about dominating in the Western Hockey League? Is that as high a goal as you have as well?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely want to make Team Canada. It's always been a dream of mine to play at the World Juniors, so if I get that opportunity, I'll be so excited and honored to represent my country on a stage like that.
And you know that the World Junior team is usually a bunch of 19-year-olds. You're still playing as an 18-year-old, although you'll be turning 19 during the hockey season next year. Does that add some pressure, knowing that you have to be that much better to try to make that team if the opportunity is there?
Yeah, for sure. Not too many 18-year-olds make it. It's a lot of 19-year-olds, and there's lots of really good 19-year-olds that are going to be there. So it's definitely going to be a challenge, but I'm going to just work as hard as I can to be a part of that team.
Yeah.
His name is Dylan Cozens. Sorry, River. He's a 7th overall pick by the Sabres on Friday night. We all saw the draft. He played for Lethbridge last year, 6'3", 180 pounds, joining the Instigators right now, live from the KeyBank Center in the atrium, where Craig Gervais is getting geared up here to ask him a big question.
So I'm sure you probably were asked this a lot at the draft and all the meetings that you went through. And everybody, when you're asked this, I was asked back in the day, what type of defense do you think that you're like? And I told people that I was a cross between Paul Coffey and Scott Stevens. Didn't quite work out that way, but like when you, yeah, they laugh like that too. But
they didn't ask whose jersey you had growing up.
Yeah, okay. What style of player do you see yourself if you were going to compare yourself to someone in the National Hockey League?
I'd have to say like a two-way center, like someone like Patrice Bergeron, just a guy who can play.
Who's that guy right there?
Yeah, you got it marked down. It's a good one. Yeah, just a guy who can play, all areas of the game.
And he still produces points. He does everything well on the ice. 200-foot game.
Yeah.
Nice.
Dylan Cozens joining the Instigators here in the atrium of the KeyBank Center. Development camp starts today. Have you done physicals and stuff? What are you guys doing today?
I honestly don't know. I haven't really seen the schedule yet. But
Oh, you haven't seen it? Okay, so you don't know what you're in for yet.
no, not yet.
You nervous?
No.
No.
Excited.
You're excited.
Yeah.
Who are you looking forward to hang out with and get the chance to talk to when you see some veterans, some guys that played in Rochester last year, being here this week? Who do you want to go shake their hand and introduce yourself to?
Yeah, I'm just looking forward to meeting all the guys and all the future teammates and everyone that's a part of this organization. I don't really know if there's one or two guys that sticks out. Just excited to meet everyone.
What do you like to do? Well, I know Marty asked you about hunting, fishing. I mean, are you a movie guy? Like we love movies here on the Instigators. We love music. I mean, what kind of music are you into? We would say what's in your CD player back in the day, but you kids now, you all have the digital stuff going on. So what do you have? I still actually use CDs, boys, by the way.
You do?
I do. I just put a good one in the other day. But what's on your playlist?
Oh, I got lots of type of music. I like the rap, hip hop music, and then I also like country music. Just playing in Alberta, I had to kind of learn how to like country music.
Well, what about your parents' music?
What?
Like Fleetwood Mac or like Bob Dylan or like anything
No.
like that?
No.
You never get like Dire Straits?
No.
Have you ever heard of these groups?
I've heard
Oh
of
my
a
God,
couple.
where am I?
Yeah, exactly.
Where am I? It was Mick Fleetwood's 71st birthday yesterday. Does that do anything for you?
Not really. No.
It's funny because Craig Button loved it. He was like, "Oh, Mick Fleetwood, I hung out with him in Hawaii."
Yeah, exactly.
And here's Dylan Cozens. He's like, "Oh, I don't even know who that is."
Well, Dylan Cozens is a cool young guy. Craig Button is a cool older guy. So that's the difference right there. And you're a cool middle-aged guy.
Well, I don't know. I kind of relate to this kid's hair, though. I kind of feel like he's got a little bit like he knew he was coming to Buffalo and going to do the Instigators.
He's got a little bit of a flow. I like it.
Well,
Yeah.
I was actually going to get a haircut right before the draft, but the person who cuts my hair was out of town, and I didn't want to risk it with a new person right before.
You can't do that. That's a veteran guy right there. That's
Although you know you're going to be putting a hat on as soon as you get
because
drafted.
then you know
but
what
still.
happens? You know what happens? You look like these two.
Oh, come
Okay?
on. Look at who's wearing a hat right now.
Oh, I could. Hey, you want me to let the hair flow here? Want me to let the love flow right now?
Please.
I
Please don't.
No, I won't do that.
Hey, so what am I hearing? So obviously hockey players are pretty popular and pretty famous at an NHL draft, but you had an uncle at the draft that was more famous than anybody else. What's that all about?
Yeah, he's on the Canadian Pickers TV show, so he was getting stopped for more pictures than I was.
Did he sign any autograph? Was he wearing the Sabres gear too?
He did throw a Sabres hat on, but lots of people were just asking him for pictures and stuff. I didn't know if he signed many autographs though.
So he goes to like. What is it, like flea markets and
Barns and
and
places,
junkyards, whatever. Have you ever been on a quest with him before and seen how he does his work?
No, I haven't, but I've gone to like garage sales with him before when I was younger, so I've seen a little bit, I guess.
How's he at negotiating? Is he going to negotiate?
Is he your
first deal
agent?
or what?
That'd maybe be a good idea. I don't know. He's a pretty good bargainer.
I'd love to see bots on one side of the table and your uncle on the other side and see how that works out. You're going to go home with like a entry-level deal and a couple of hubcaps and a poster from 1962 or something.
Yeah, he's going to give Jason some old Buick hubcap, eh? Like something to put on his wall as a token of his appreciation from the Yukon. Well, Dylan, I don't know how much time we have with you. We should let him go a few more minutes. Have you gotten to how long have you been in Buffalo now? You said you've been in here a couple days?
2 days.
Have you been out to eat anywhere? Gone for any wings? Have you experienced anything? Like Buffalo has a lot to offer. Some of the best restaurants per capita, I think, in the United States.
Yeah, I haven't really yet. No.
No wings?
No, I haven't.
No wings. Are you trying to stay lean for the fat test? Is that what's going
Have
on?
you had your body fat done? What is your body fat?
I have no idea.
Yeah, you can tell he's a tall, lean guy. So there's not a lot of body fat.
Above or below 8?
No, he's way
I'd
below
say
8.
below, yeah.
Are you above or below 7?
What's your waist size?
Like a 33, 32.
You used to be there when you were
No,
like.
PD was
I think
like
I was a
12.
I think I was a 32 when I was 12. I'm not kidding. Well, Jerry Seinfeld takes takes the 1 and turns it into a 0 or a 2 into 1. Do you know who that is?
You know who Seinfeld is? Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. So you haven't been for wings. You haven't gone to Niagara Falls. Did your family come with you? Your parents come with you? Nobody
No.
came with you? You're Han Solo.
I'm alone, yeah.
Okay. All right.
Are you a golfer?
No, I haven't golfed recently, really, in like the last 2 summers, but I used to golf a lot, and it's something I'm going to pick up again.
I know like a lot of guys I played with either golfed or fished or hunt. I know some of them were big tennis players. A lot of the European guys are big tennis guys. So we're just trying to figure out, like, if we saw you around town and you had a day off, what the Instigators could do to let you out of your shell and let you loose in the town.
Dylan, I'm just going to be honest with you. We're not trying to find out what you're interested in. We're trying to find a weakness, and then we're going to use that, and then we're going to use that against you, and then we're going to apply pressure on it. That's all we're trying to do, like you do with a guy in a locker room when you come in, and a guy razzes you right away, like the vet, like Razor. for instance, Ray, when you meet Rob Ray, if he starts to give you a hard time, just say, Razor, I've heard all about you. You don't even faze me.
Yeah.
Okay? Because that's...
Or don't.
Yeah, I probably won't say that.
Just ask him, just tell him something like, I'll have more goals in a year that you did in your whole career, and let's see where that goes.
My last
So
question...
after you're done here at this camp, what is going to happen next? You going to take a little bit of time off? Or are you going to get back into training? What is your thoughts moving forward for the rest of the summer?
Just get back into training right away. I know what I need to do to get to the next level, and I want to be ready for when the next season starts.
Where do you train back? Do you have a personal trainer, a group of guys that you like to work out with, or do you do by yourself with a trainer one-on-one?
Yeah, it's one-on-one with a personal trainer.
Marty,
Okay.
there's only 3 guys from UConn that's ever played.
Listen, it's not like there's nobody works out in Whitehorse. There's got to be a group of guys that...
They do.
Do you still have your buddies from back home? Like when you leave at the end of the summer, is it a little, sad to say you're leaving for the year and you've got all your buddies back home still?
No, it's not really sad, but I still have lots of friends up there, yeah. But whenever I leave for the next season, I'm just excited to play hockey again.
Is it daytime all day there in the summertime?
It's like it never really gets fully dark. Like it gets a little bit dark, but never like pitch black or anything. So it stays bright really late.
Huh.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's something we learned about the Yukon. Hey, Riv? Hey, Riv, where's that Yukon again? Alaska?
It's up there.
It's up.
You can see it on the map. Dylan Cozens, thanks for coming.